It's all right. Dillian Whyte against Alexander Povetkin. He got revenge.
Yeah.
What do you make of Dillian's performance?
You know what? I've seen a lot of reviews. People saying Povetkin didn't look like he could be arsed. Povetkin didn't come out from the. And you know, Povetkin landed 8 shots. Is that anything to do with Povetkin being lazy or couldn't be bothered? No. I think it was just a genius. I think it was very similar to Anthony Joshua, who these two. I think Dillian Whyte realised what he had to do, go on the back foot. Povetkin didn't expect him to box like that. I think Povetkin expected him to be wary, come forward, look for the knockout, and he didn't. He boxed on the back foot, used his jab, used his backhand when he could, and got the stoppage early on and done really well. I think it was I think it was a masterpiece of a boxing show. Exactly the same. If Anthony Joshua or Tyson Fury had have done something like that, it would have been like, wow, you know, amazing. You know, Povetkin's only hit him 8 times, but because it was Dillian Whyte, people are sort of looking past the fact that it was an absolute masterpiece of a boxing show, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree. And I mean, for me, I think that Povetkin, he's going to be a Hall of Famer anyway. If he was to just retire now, he'll get into like the Hall of Fame. So it's good that Dillian's got a Hall of Famer on his resume.
Yes, yeah. Listen, Dillian, I think he's got a lot after the back of that, and you know, he looked well as well. I mean, I think he weighed in at 247 pounds, so 17 stone 10. You know, he looked in shape, he looked well, he looked fit, he looked healthy. And I think you know, there's big things coming off the back of that.
He had a hamstring injury as well, didn't he?
Sorry?
He had a hamstring injury as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
And if you could handpick an opponent for him next, who would it be?
Yeah, no, there's so many problems with boxing. Look at Tyson Fury and Joshua and what's going on with that. If I could handpick him an opponent, you know, I think somebody like Hrgovic would be a great fight for him. Somebody who's sort of 15, 16 and all on the rise and up and coming, who wants to be the next big thing. Or, you know, as he says, he's took the hard fights. Give him an easy fight. Give him Marius Whack again, where he's not 4 stone overweight, and let's see if he can get that stoppage.
Yeah.
You know, give him somebody like Marius Whack. Give him the rematch between whoever wins between Chisora and Parker. See if he would want that fight. There's plenty, but he doesn't, like, you know, he hit the nail on the head. He's been in a long camp, and he's picked up niggly little injuries, which he do. You know, his camp was sort of a month and a half over schedule, which, you know, this is where problems come. You can pick up injuries, you can fatigue. If you've peaked and then you find out that you're not fighting, you've got to stay at that level, and it's hard. So let him have a bit of time, you know, and then just give him an easier fight, then get him in with one of the big boys.
It's maybe like a Dillian against a Wilder or a Ruiz end of the year.
Definitely. I mean, like I say, somebody like Marius Whack, who's got a good resume, hasn't been stopped very much. We've seen him when he was 3 stone overweight against Marius Whack. Let's see the fit, healthy Dillian Whyte against Marius Whack, see what he can do. Just give him that sort of break from being 100% fighting a hard opponent, then, you know, pick it up against somebody like Ruiz or like they say, Wilder.
Or maybe that Trevor Bryan, who just got that WBA regular belt.
Yeah,
that'd be an interesting one.
That's what they've been saying, that could be the next fight, but
that'd be interesting.
Does Dillian want that fight straight away? It's another hard fight, another hard camp for him. But be good to have the two belts.
Definitely. Fabio Wardley took on a seasoned veteran. I wouldn't call him a journeyman, but he's probably gatekeeper in Molina. What do you think of Fabio's performance?
He done what he needed to do. Showboated a little bit too much for me. Got caught with a daft chop. But if you watch his review at the end, he accepted the fact that the best thing to do is critique the performance and accept when, you know, I done the same against, you know, Phil Williams. I got caught with a daft chop. It happens. You know, he's still early on in his career. He took a big fight, so well done to him for getting a win. And you know, he won't get away with that showboating against somebody who's, you know, more seasoned. I don't mean more seasoned because Molina, you know, he's been in the game for
more ambitious.
Time, but more, yeah, who's more aggressive, who isn't 40, 42 year old, and who's willing to, you know, let the shots go. It's will he get away with that type of showboat? Definitely not. But like I say, you learn from them. I got caught off Phil Williams. Didn't affect us, but I still got caught. If that was somebody heavy-handed, it could have been different for my third fight. You know, that W could have turned into an L. So you come away and you learn from that. And Fabio done the exact thing, which which was a good thing. He come away and he said, you know, wasn't my best performance. I got caught, but I reacted when I got caught. And I got the knockout. So.
Would you be interested in seeing Fabio defend the English against, say, maybe Cash Ali?
Oh, definitely. I mean, I think them two have had a bit of feud on. I'm not on Twitter, but I've seen Cash Ali share stuff on Instagram. I've seen Fabio share stuff, and I think they've sort of had a bit of a feud. But it'll do Cash the world of good, you know, to get because he's after the David Price loss, he hasn't really you know fought anybody. I think he fought Phil Williams in the car park. So you know. The Price rematch, people have been saying that could be something that Price could come out of retirement for. But I think
interesting.
I think you know it's Cash Ali's 13th, 14th fight or something. It'll be Wardley's 10th. It'll be a good 10th. To be honest, I'd like to see Fabio and when we're talking about Adelaide before, I'd like to see them fight somebody like Sokolowski, somebody like him who is a tough opponent. He's there to, you know, get around him, but at the same time he's caused some massive upsets, and he's the type of person who can wreck careers, which he has done. If you look at a couple of people who he's beat sort of 6-7-0 that haven't fought after that, Alex Dickinson for one, ABA champion, 7-0, fought Sokolowski, got beat and retired off the back of that, because he's the type of guy who will make you think, well, if I can't beat him, where am I going to end up? So, you know, Sokolowski's someone who I would be looking at on my 5th or 6th fight. Obviously, I've had a year out, so my next one needs to just be blowing the cobwebs off, and then that's something that I would be looking at.
Look, sticking with the Sokolowski theme, one guy he did beat, Nick Webb. And he got a very good victory over Erik Pfeifer.
He did. He done what he did. To be honest, I think Pfeifer had an unbelievable amateur pedigree. You know, World Series of Boxing, fought Tony Yoga a few times. An Olympian, he had a fantastic pedigree. But it just goes to show that when you transition from amateur to pro, and if you've got a doctored record of 7-0, when you come across somebody who's a little bit better, it can go to shit, which we've seen with Audley Harrison. He's an Olympic gold medalist, unbelievable amateur, turned over, signed a contract, got fed these silly opponents, you know, learned bad habits, couldn't be bothered to train, no need knock his first 10 opponents out, fought somebody, and his career just went downhill from there. And you know, this is the issue with, because too many people want to claim onto that zero. Too many people, you know, want to be 12-0, 13-0 before they step up, and they'll fight. They're happy to fight 13, 14 bums. Not bums because it takes a man to get into the ring, but you know, they're happy to have a doctored record of genuine. Then they come across somebody, and we're seeing that with Pfeifer and Webb. Well, listen, Webb can fight. Yes, has he got a glass jaw? Possibly. Has David Price got a glass jaw? Possibly. But the word glass jaw, heavyweight division, you've got somebody 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 stone hitting you on one of these pressure points. Doesn't matter whether you know what you can do. People have got a weaker jaw. Yeah. Has Webb got a weaker jaw than David Allen, of course he has, it's proven, but I wouldn't call it a glass jaw at the heavyweight division. It takes one shot in the right place, and whether it's Erik, Webb, David Price or Anthony Joshua, you catch them with the right shot, they're going to hit the deck. And that's the beauty. That's why heavyweight division is the most watched division in the world, and it always will be, because there's knockouts constantly knockout, and big knockouts as well, which we're seeing on the weekend with Dillian Whyte. And I think the thing with Pfeifer, he got hit in the first 30 seconds and he just didn't look the same after that, which was the same as Joshua Rui's first one. He got hit and he saw sometimes equilibrium just doesn't come back, and you're just constantly, everything's blurry, and whatever you want to do just doesn't work. Your brain just stops you. You want to how you want to left hook, but it's as if, because it's a weird experience. I can't really explain it. You have to have experienced it.
That's the beauty of the heavyweight division. As much as people want to put certain heavyweight fighters on a pedestal, everyone can be hitting on that button. Everyone can.
Of course you can.
It doesn't matter who you are.
Of course you can. Of course you can. And, we've seen it with the best in the world. There's only the odd few who go the whole careers without being put down or without being hurt. Dave Allen being one, but unfortunately he's 28-year-old and retired off the back of that. And has he took too many punches, or could he just not be arsed? Nobody knows. Nobody knows the ins and outs of him, but it's there's certain people who you can just hit with a bat and they'll stay on you, and then but one shot can wreck your career. Even if it doesn't put you down, it can blood clot you, it can cause permanent damage, so you have to be careful.
Definitely.